Postgres is one of the most commonly used database for the production applications. Things pretty work in the local environment, but it game changes when you actually start using it for your production environment. Most developers are comfortable in using in local environment, but production is different. You need controlled access, you need backups, you need performance. In this video, we are going to see how you can actually have a practical guide, how you can actually have your production ready Postgres hosted on your own servers. So let's get started with this video. When people say my database is in production, they usually mean few things. One is it's not running on laptop, it's having a restricted access, it's backed up, and it can survive basic failures. The goal here is not to actually learn Postgres internally, it's learning how to use Postgres safely in the real applications. I'm starting with the database management. Here is where you actually create your database manager instance separately from your application servers. First decision is the database engine, which is going to be transitional application, API, dashboard, SaaS products, or Postgres is a solid default. It's a reliable, widely supported, and works across all different stacks. For this case, we are going to use CloudBean, and for once you go into the cloudbean.com, all you have to do is navigate to products, and products you will see the manage database and select Postgres itself. And once you come into this page, you will be actually able to see pricing pay table, and they do have the MAM based different. They have Saudi Arabia as well as in data center selection. All you have to do is just click one, get started, and it's gonna take you to the next page, which is going to be the registration page where you can register on CloudBean itself. And since I'm already registered, you can follow this, and I'm going to log in into my account. This is the first screen which we're going to see once you log in. I have already have a couple of applications installed and my server as well within this particular account, so that's why it's actually showing some numbers. For your case, it will be 0 for every single part. So navigating to the DBS, which is we are right now to having the Postgres will be launched. All you have to do is navigate to DBS from the header, or either we can actually use the manage database tab here itself. And once you enter into this screen, so for me again, I have launched one of the database already for me, but for you it will be empty. So all you have to do is again just click on launch database and select PostgreSQL, and then we have to select the database name. Once you input the database name, you can't change it afterwards. So I'm pretty much sure that you are using the correct one so that you can use it in your production aspect. For this, we are using my app for the database name, and for my app for the user database name as well. And right after you give the database name and use the database user, so this is where you actually going to select the version of the Postgres itself. And if somehow you do not knowing what version you are going to use, just it's recommended to just go with the latest version available. And right after that, you can actually see that we have in a server location the nearest to this application server, better it is. So do select the data center which is nearest to your application data center. For the instance, I'm just selecting Atlanta, and once you select that, you do have an option of launching a free tier as well, but at the same point of time, it's not recommended because it's not scalable. But at the same point of time, selecting Words TV, you can actually look forward to actually this particular database, and it starts us with the pricing of $18. And once you select this, all you have to do is just click on launch database. It's gonna redirect you to the next screen, which is going to be Stripe screen, and you have to pay your credit card. I'm skipping this part and navigating back to the screen, to the dashboard itself, where I can see, and we will be start seeing a database once you make the payment itself. Since I have already a database, I'm not actually doing the payment for this particular video, and this is going to be a database, how it is going to look like here. And once you click on this, you will be taken inside it. So this is the access details, which is the most important and most needed things, which is one is the host string, and another is port number, and the database name which we kept, and the master database, again master the user itself, and the database password. All these details are important, and this is the only important thing which you as a user actually going to take care of, because this is which is going to be connected to your application itself. And make it sure you are not actually making these keys available directly into your application hard coded. It should be actually inside your environmental variables, otherwise your database can actually be public itself. So talking about the other features of like how it actually manages, the biggest feature, which is the backups itself. So the backups are pre-enabled, you don't have to change anything. Pre-enabled is going to be there. Backup retention by default it's coming as 8 days, but you can change it. You can change the frequency as well, and the timing and encryption and all. So once do that, and you can see there are a couple of backups. If you can restore it anytime by just selecting it and click on restore, it's gonna restore the whole database within a flash. So talking about the next part, which is the most important part, another part, it should not be allowed publicly. So currently I have actually enabled it as a publicly available enabled, which means anyone from any IP address can actually really access this particular database, but it's not recommended at all. Once you set up everything and you are ready to go live, it's highly recommended that you actually only allow the application server to be allowed to actually have access to this particular database. So just enter the IP address of your application server. Like in my case, like it's giving example, if I just copy this one and copy this IP address, so I will be able to add in here, coming back to firewall, just adding this, selecting allow only this following IP address, and just add this. Once you add this, and you have to just click on save. So now what happens is only this production database is only going to be having access via that particular server, which is going to be having our own our backend running right now. So it should be very much controlled that you are not exposing it to public. Otherwise, there are some people who are on internet looking forward to actually push commands like user table drop colon and just for the fun itself. So this is our second feature, and you can see how much health and in the health section we can see how much memory on disk and whatsoever is being used by particular PostgreSQL server. So this was all it, and like if you want to use it, it's super easy again for using in the cursor itself. I can do that as well. For this particular video, I just created a very simple application via cursor, and we can see that this cursor is asking for us for Cloudbean PostgreSQL credentials. So how this is how where we actually just give it to just get it production ready. All we have to do is just navigate to these details. So what we have to do is we have to actually provide all of these details to cursor. So what we can do is we just collect this, and we can say this is connection string. Once we give all this, so I'm just copying this for the purpose of actually sharing it with the cursor. So once we do it, all we have to do is here are my production Postgres details, and it gonna automatically add these details into your env, and just your application is now ready with this. So it's gonna be allowing. So just right after you give all these credentials to cursor, the cursor is going to actually create a env to the connection itself. Since it's right now running in your local environment, your database should be actually allowed to have a public access. So just for this purpose, just make it actually public. And once you publish your application, it should be actually covered with the IP address of your application server. It should not be actually having public access. And that's all for this video, where you have understood like what the details where you actually need from your production Postgres itself, and it's super easy. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, do like this video, and please leave in comment if something you need and it's not working for you.